Okay, if you no longer want to be absolutely cooked, you need to get tan, you need to embrace this summer, you need to get healthy, and you need to lock in. Here is exactly how to get tan and stay tan without cooking your skin, without getting sunburnt, without getting pale, without getting wrinkles, without aging yourself, and at the same time, while staying peak health, while having your hormones dialed, your mind dialed, and having the best time of your life. See exactly what to do, how to go about it. My camera's holding. We're going to drop no lies, straight gold dust. This is a legendary video. Let us get cracking. For reference, even though I am part Indian, this is what I used to look like. I was pale, I had cooked skin, I had terrible energy. Literally, I was so unhealthy. Now, obviously, I'm a bit tanner. I'm a bit better looking because I've rewired my health. You want to improve your looks, all you need to do is fix your health. That is exactly what I do if you're not familiar with the channel. I currently have the #1 health-based paid community in the world at the moment. The link is in the description if you want to check it out. You can get full access to me, full access to a community of like-minded people, and at the same time, you can have full guides on exactly what to do, how to go about it, and you can actually implement it. You have accountability, like-minded people, external speakers, and all of that source. I highly recommend, even if you don't join, you find some people to do this stuff with. Health is a lifestyle. It's not just a temporary thing and commitment. And it's very easy to do. It is just you are just living in a world full of unhealthy people who are honestly operating on a very low frequency. And I'm not saying you're better than them, but you have the potential to be the best version of yourself. So without any more waffle, this is exactly how to get tan and stay tan. First things off the bat, no, I'm not going to harp on about you don't need to use any sunscreen. Don't stress. I am going to say there are much more natural ways to go about this. The sun is something you should embrace. You should never run away from the sun. That is the most fundamental concept I want you to understand throughout the entirety of this video. The sun is one of the building blocks of life. It is what makes you healthy. It boosts vitamin D synthesis, testosterone, UV exposure, boosts your hormones, boosts your mood, boosts your mindset, resets your circadian rhythm, and the list goes on. It is fundamental for overall health. At the same time, especially when you take into account this, and I'm not trying to, my God, this camera keeps getting messed up. I'm not trying to big bro you or anything, but when you're not very healthy, the sun can have negative impacts. That's when it can cause wrinkles. That's when it can age you, and that's when it can make you sunburn or peel. So I'm not going to say you should completely go raw and not use any sunscreen. However, I'm saying you have much better alternatives. For example, most sunscreens these days contain oxybenzone, a cancer-causing chemical, and at the same time have endocrine disruptors, and they leach onto your skin. Your skin is your body's largest organ. Why would you heal your skin any differently from the way you heal your liver or your heart? Just because it has an external layer doesn't mean it doesn't need to be healed from the inside out. Stop putting BS on your skin and start taking action and using internal sunscreen by fixing your health. But an option for a good natural sunscreen is non-nano zinc oxide. If you do get burned, you are pushing the limit. I'm not saying you should push the limit, by the way. Just wait for what I have to say. Non-nano zinc oxide is a really good option for a natural sunscreen, which won't ruin your hormones, but it will protect you from the sun a tiny bit, particularly if you're not very used to a lot of sun exposure. Our second concept is you don't need to overdo it. Direct sun exposure, you don't need to do. You don't need to tan for 3 hours a day. You really only need 20 to 30 minutes of actual UV exposure every single day to get a nice tan. The bulk of this will come from just being a normal human, being in your natural environment, being outside, getting in the sun. Summer is around the corner. 75% plus of you will have access to the sun and hopefully a beach or at least a garden and nature. And you should make the most of it. You don't need to lie in the sun for 3 hours a day. However, you do need to get in the sun. You need to tan evenly, tan your front, tan your back, tan your side, walk around, run around, frolic like the lovely little human that you were made to be. But yeah, that's a key concept. You don't need to overdo it. No one should be getting burnt. No one should be having peeling skin. No one should ever be getting red. If you are getting red, it's a natural sign. Get out of the sun, or at least get directly out of it, and don't go out in peak UV time. Just get out in the morning, get out in the evening. You should always be watching the sunset, always be watching the sunrise to reset your circadian rhythm. Anyway, key concept. I know it's basic, and I know we're going to get into some more complicated stuff, but I just want to lay that out there before anyone thinks I've lost that part. Now, here's a key concept. In order to get a proper tan, you have to have low levels of inflammation. That is a key concept for people to understand. You are consuming, or the average person is consuming, too many omega-6s. Too much linoleic acid, their omega-3 to 6 ratio is completely cooked, and you are literally unhealthy. You are creating systemic chronic inflammation within your body, which is making you get sunburn, which is making the sun unhealthy for you. You are not inherently unhealthy. The sun did not create cancer a million, yeah, okay, not a million. Okay, we're taking the Bible now. 1,000 years ago. I'm not saying there aren't negative impacts. I'm not saying there aren't a lot of scientific studies which show it ages your skin, but I'm saying all of these studies are done on unhealthy people with high levels of systemic inflammation because of a diet consisting of polyunsaturated fatty acids, which aren't naturally occurring. I'm not going to harp on about seed oils, but I am saying you shouldn't be consuming polyunsaturated fatty acids, which aren't naturally occurring. You shouldn't be consuming anything that doesn't naturally occur in nature because obviously it's not good for you. We are made perfect and healthy, and we literally destroy ourselves with a terrible lifestyle and modern diet and in excessively terrible habits. It's the same thing that applies to your face. When you have a recessed jaw, recessed maxilla, it's not natural. It's not natural to have sleep apnea. These things are all byproducts of a terrible environment and a terrible modern lifestyle, which you really need to break out of. I'm not saying you need to go full caveman, but I am saying you need to leverage some key principles from it. So I know that was a whole lot of waffle, but here's exactly what you should do with regard to your omega-3 to 6 ratio. Firstly, cut out the polyunsaturated fatty acids, canola oil, rapeseed oil, etc. Instead, consume meats, red meats, fatty fish, wild caught, eggs, raw dairy, fruit. Obviously, fruit doesn't have omega-3s, but those are great sources of omega-3s, which will reset your ratio. And at the same time, you should also be consuming a lot more saturated fat. It is honestly a disease. People are not consuming saturated fat because they're so dead scared it's going to make them fat. They can use trans-saturated fats are not even comparable to saturated fats. True naturally occurring fat is the base of a healthy diet. It's the base of your hormones. It's the base of your mood. It's the base of everything that functions within your body. Fats, or high quality fat, does not make you fat. Consume more saturated fat, reset your omega-3 to 6 ratio, stop being cooked, and let's get into the next point. Okay, so I covered that you can use non-nano zinc oxide, but I'm going to also run you through a great alternative, particularly when you're getting healthier and the sun isn't damaging you as much. A great base, particularly when you're not in UV 12 plus, to say you're in like UV 5, 6, 7, 8, etc. A great thing to do is expose your body to the sun, wearing tallow on your face. It contains vitamin A, D, E, and K. It's exceptionally similar to the composition of the human skin and therefore absorbs brilliantly, non-comedogenic. And at the same time on your body, what you're going to use is coconut oil. Coconut oil is hydrating, has a light SPF, so it will block the sun a tiny bit. It'll also create a lovely lasting tan, hydrate your skin, and at the same time, you can also use it on your face, but it's slightly comedogenic. And for those of you with acne, I would avoid that, even though you shouldn't have acne in the first place. Watch my other videos on this. It's a byproduct of unnatural health. You can fix it very easy. You don't need Accutane, isotretinoin, etc. But coconut oil on your body, tallow on your face, and if you do get slightly red from this, if you aren't used to sun exposure and you even lie out 15 minutes and you still get slightly red, well, all you do is you buy in the real aloe vera leaf, you cut it lengthwise, you get the gel within it, and you put it on your skin. It feels amazing. It's like a real natural after sun. It is exceptionally powerful, and it will help you with getting a lovely little tan, looking healthy, looking nice, and feeling great. At the same time, it's not just as simple as what you put in your skin. When you are in the sun, you need to keep your body hydrated. You need to be consuming structured water fruits. Things like pineapple, watermelon, cucumbers all contain structured water, which is deeply hydrating because they have natural electrolytes with it. Remember, water does not make you hydrated. You need water plus electrolytes. No, you do not need packets, electrolyte packets full of powder that you put in water from a non-bioavailable source with terrible ingredients and sourced from a random nuclear plant facility off the coast of East in Ukraine. What you really need, fixing the light here again. What you really need is structured water, fruits, and at the same time, this is a time when you can consume maybe some coconut water, particularly in the summer when it's lower in deuterium. You can consume raw coconut water, which is deeply hydrating. These things are great when you're in the sun. Also, a common misconception and the point that not many people really talk about enough is the fact that you should also, along with all of this and fixing your body internally, stop using chemical-filled Head & Shoulders body wash, 50-in-1, random cleaning, chemical-filled infusion. I don't even know. It's just ridiculous. Stop using that because obviously it's overexfoliating your skin, naturally stripping it of its oils, and therefore making it so that when you do get in the sun, you peel more, you get sunburn, and you become unhealthy. I don't know how people can't quite connect the dots with all of this. When you're using Head & Shoulders and then going out in the sun, why am I getting burned? Obviously, even though I'm eating eggs and meat, I still feel burnt. Well, just think about it logically. You don't need to not wash your body. You don't need to be full caveman. What you should do is use olive oil soap, Aleppo soap, goat's milk soap, tallow soap, anything naturally occurring to properly wash your skin. And at the same time, you should also hop in the bloody ocean. If this summer you are very fortunate enough to have access to a sea, an ocean, or any body of water, please get in it. It is foundational. You will ground, you will lower inflammation, lower cortisol, and at the same time, you connect with the earth you came from. I'm not trying to be all hippie about this. There are actually a lot of studies showing the transfer of electrons, as crazy as that sounds. There are a lot of scientific studies, and at the same time, it will also, particularly if it's salt water, make you tanner. Salt water activates melanin activation, or it increases melanin activation. There we go. And at the same time, it opens your pores, exfoliates your skin, and makes it so you can get a nicer, deeper tan while also not having a load of random, you know, oxybenzone all over your body. So hop in the ocean, use natural soap, stop exfoliating your skin with weird, unnatural things. And it's pretty logical, but I don't know why it is just so naturally ingrained in society to use such BS. Gods, we are storming through this. I previously recorded this video, but it took much longer, if I'm completely honest. Then I realized my microphone was turned off. It is, unfortunately, I believe it is turned on this time. So I've had to re-record this, eat my lunch. But let's get cracking into the final point, which is essentially internal sunscreen. Along with, and I'm not saying you shouldn't use sunscreen, remember, I'm saying non-nano zinc oxide is useful. You can also use internal sunscreen, which is essentially just eating the way that we are intended to. When you consume vitamins and minerals like vitamin A, tyrosine, and vitamin C, you get key benefits, which means the sun actually makes you healthier, gives you a better tan, and doesn't burn you, because tyrosine increases melanin activation, vitamin C prevents oxidative stress caused by UV exposure, and therefore you're actually healthy. Remember, the sun is only going to be positive for you. Every study, and God, the lighting really messing up, every study is done on unhealthy people and therefore is barely relevant to you. And that is something that took me far too long to realize when I used to wear sunscreen every day. Again, I'm not saying sunscreen is bad, but I am saying it is filled with toxic chemicals. It is pretty much untested on truly healthy people because they don't exist anymore. So everyone consumes processed foods. And therefore, take a balanced approach, take a natural approach. Don't stress too much. You'll get a tan very nice and easily. You'll be able to enjoy your summer. You'll look good. You'll feel good. Tan is a natural health indicator. The reason we find it attractive is because it is healthy. Anything that we find attractive is purely because it is somehow related to health, because we're animals, we're biologically hardwired to pick the healthiest mate. Lock in, have an amazing summer. It is coming up. Take action. Stop cheating. Stop following the crowd. Become the best version of yourself. Health is looks. And wishing you nothing but the best. You deserve it. Keep cooking. And if you need any more help, you can click the link in the description. Peace. Or I'd put one finger up, please.